going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, there's a little squeak in my voice there. If you haven't done so already, if you could hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, if you're enjoying the content, please click the like button. If you've got any comments that you want to make, feel free, leave them in the comment section down below. Let's get into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little preview to the Sunderland game. Let me just move this around. So yeah, just a little preview to the Sunderland game and just sort of how things, that's still not right, how things stack up, etc., so on and so forth. So looking at it at the moment, I usually talk about us and then sort of intertwine a bit of Sunderland stuff or the opposing team to go with it as well. So what I will do is I think I'm just going to focus on the Sunderland side of things. So at the moment, in terms of current form, in their last 6 games, they have lost 3, drawn 2, won 1. So their sort of overall form is a little bit up and down. They lost their last game at home to Blackburn. And sorry, no, that's not quite right. They drew their last game at home to Bristol City, and obviously they've got us at Ellen Road tomorrow. So looking at it in terms of being away, they've lost 1 away so far, drawn sort of like I say in the last 6 overall. They've not been massively thumped. The only time they were really thumped was at the game against Blackburn, which they lost 5-1. So that wasn't obviously the best result to have at home. In terms of, let me see, best players that they've got, Jack Clarke is their best player overall. He's got 15 goals for them overall this season. He's got an overall rating of 7.62. And then it's basically, from that, it kind of goes obviously down the way as it runs overall. So looking at characteristics of Sunderland themselves, so they're very strong at attacking set pieces. And from our point of view, we've been weak on set pieces, so we need to be sort of careful of that. They're very strong at protecting the lead. They're strong at creating long shot opportunities, and they are also strong at creating chances through individual skill. Take, for example, Jack Clarke. What they're weak at doing is finishing scoring chances, defending against skillful players, defending counter-attacks, and also aerial duels as well. So their style of play, as mentioned here, is take long shots, short passes, attempting through balls often. So our midfield is going to have to be on their game. Control the game in the opposition's half. Attacking down the left-hand side, you would expect that with Jack Clarke. Possession football. Opponents tend to play aggressively against them. I don't think we'll do that. They have a consistent first 11 as well, and they are non-aggressive, as it makes out on here. So overall, that would be kind of like an on-par team. But then when you look at it in terms of sort of their touches overall, in terms of when they attack sides, it's very even down the left and right-hand side. In fact, to be fair, overall, it's even across the pitch, but it's mainly the left-hand side and the right-hand side that they're like a little bit of wing play, shall we say. In terms of action zones, the majority of the action is in the middle third for them. 30% in the opposition third and 28% in their own third. So it's very much playing in the middle of, in terms of the park. So when they're playing at home, though, it's exactly the same. Looking at the statistics, genuinely, it's exactly the same. Different on the when it's away because everything comes down the left when it's away. Shots overall, so 4, what they generally tend to do is a lot of their shots come through the middle. So 61% come through the middle, 23% on the left-hand side and 16% on the right-hand side. So to me, obviously, very, very reliant on Jack Clarke and how Jack Clarke plays. And then when you look at it in terms of the shot zones, none in the 6-yard box at all. So they're not sort of in-box players, I would say, but they've got 54% in the 18-yard box and 41% in the outside of the box. So looking at it again in terms of shots for against, what generally tends to happen is against them is it's 17% down the right-hand side, 18% down the left-hand side, and 65% in the middle of the park. That, for me, says that we might get quite a bit of joy through the middle, hopefully. 58% of the shots, in terms of shot zones themselves, come from inside the 6-yard box, and 33% from inside the 18-yard box, and 33% outside of the 18-yard box, and about 9% in the 6-yard box. So they're good at defending their 6-yard box overall. So looking at goals for and against, 60% of their goals come from open play, 26% from set pieces, 8% from a counter-attack. They've only conceded 2 penalties, or had 2 penalties scored from them. They've only got 1 own goal. So looking at their style of it, from open play, 61%, and 20% from wings, 12% from penalties. That's an interesting statistic. Not many from counter-attacks as well. So overall, let's be honest, it's a game that we should win. We have the players to do it. It's just our players need to turn up. As long as we manage to keep... I think looking at the way that Sunderland play, the key thing for me is that we need to control the midfield battle in this game, I think. If we can control the midfield battle and do well in that game, then hopefully it goes well. Now, going back to Farke's press conference today, there is potentially a slight situation with Ampadu being poorly. He hasn't trained for the last, 48 hours, I think he said. So that is a slight concern. Because what it probably means is if Ampadu isn't playing, it means that Cooper's going to come in. And I think just the world, given how delicate and precious everybody's feeling at the moment, the world will just go into meltdown if that happens. So we'll just have to wait and see how it all pans out. Farke could be bluffing on that one. He did it before with Gruev. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I think Ampadu needs to do a light training session this afternoon to even be considered for it. So we'll just have to wait and see how that one pairs itself out and if we can do okay. For me personally, in terms of setup and structure, what I would like to see, I think Bamford is going to start regardless. I genuinely do. I don't think we're going to get away from that, even though a lot of people are crying out for a change. Would I welcome a change? Yeah, we might need it to freshen things up, but Farke believes in Bamford. Rutter's going to be an interesting one because I think we might not be far away from Rutter being swapped. If Nonto is fit enough and has trained, I think Nonto starts on the right tomorrow. Cree will start because Cree's our best player by an absolute country mile. The interesting thing is going to be whether or not Kamara is fit enough to play, because clearly he was still suffering from his illness. So if he's not fit enough to play, I think he will put Gray in the midfield, Gruev just behind Gray, and that triangle that we like to do in the defence. But Roberts could also play as well, just depending on whether or not he's come through the training session at all. It's a biggie this week. We've got 2 massive games, Sunderland and then Blackburn. Anything less than 6 points isn't going to be enough, I don't think, for us to get the automatics. I keep saying a lot because I'm trying to think and just sort of guess on about it, but it needs to be raucous at Ellen Road. It needs to be nasty. It needs to be a difficult place for Sunderland to come, and hopefully, regardless of who's playing tomorrow night, I just want the crowd to be on it from the start. I know, and I think everybody's going to be really nervous, just given how everything's gone recently. An early quick goal will settle everything quite quickly. So we need to, like I said, be on it from the very, very start. We have to win. It's as simple as that. We just need to go out and win. We need to go out and win. And what we need to do then from going out and win is not losing the game, winning it. That then puts pressure back on Ipswich. And like I said, the rest just takes care of itself. As long as we do our bit and win, then that should be exactly where we need to be. I just want a performance. We haven't had a performance for the last 3 games at all. So some of the guys need to stand up and they need to be counted, and we need to do the right things. And if it's not going our way, I just pray to Bejeebus that Farker makes the substitutions a little bit earlier this time. But I feel positive. I feel better than what I did at the weekend because of the actual result itself. And had it not been for the Coventry player heading off the line or Peru just slightly scuffing the shot, we could have walked away with a draw on Saturday. I know some other people have mentioned that as well. So positivity, we're going to do it. Let's get it on and let's just win the game. Just go and win a bloody game of football, boys. That's all we need you to do. That's going to do it for this one. Please let me know if you've enjoyed the video by liking it. If you've not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Any comments you want to make, feel free. Put them in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one. We'll talk to you later. Take care.